Have you ever stood in front of your closet, slipping on a dress you once loved, only to feel like something doesn't quite fit anymore? It's not that the dress has changed, it's that you have. Over the years, you've grown in strength, wisdom, and grace, and your style should reflect that beautiful evolution. But sometimes, the clothes we hold onto are like echoes from a past version of ourselves, whispering stories that no longer match who we truly are today. This moment is about recognizing those subtle signals, those little style traps that quietly age us, instead of showcasing the vibrant, confident woman we've become. This isn't about chasing youth or trends. It's about embracing your unique journey and dressing with intention. It's about celebrating your body, your spirit, and your story with clothes that honor where you are now. In the next few minutes, we'll explore 7 common dress mistakes many women over 60 make without realizing it. And I'll show you how to transform your wardrobe into a powerful expression of your elegance and confidence. Because the truth is, the most beautiful outfit you'll ever wear isn't just a dress, it's your attitude. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Mistake 1. Wearing dresses that are too short for your current stage. There comes a point in every woman's life when she looks into the mirror and notices that the dress she used to adore doesn't quite feel the same. Maybe you've had that experience. You slip into a favorite little number, perhaps one that brought you joy at a grandchild's birthday or made you feel unstoppable at a summer picnic years ago. But now, as you smooth it over your hips and take one last look, something feels just a little off. It's not a question of beauty or confidence. You probably look as lovely as ever. But time has a way of shifting not just our bodies, but our sense of what feels right. The truth is, the dress hasn't changed, you have. And that's not just okay, it's something to be celebrated. One of the most common mistakes women make as they move gracefully into their 60s and 70s is holding on to dresses that are simply too short for this stage of life. It's important to say this is not about age rules or arbitrary fashion commandments. It's about style as a language. Years ago, you might have loved the feeling of a dress skimming above your knees, the freedom, the youthful energy, the easy stride across the lawn. Maybe that hemline made you feel alive, as if the world was yours for the taking. But as the seasons pass, style evolves, just like we do. Sometimes, what once felt natural and right now feels exposed, or even uncomfortable. When a dress sits high above the knee, it can change the way your body is seen, and not always in ways you might hope. A shorter hemline draws attention downward, making your legs the star of the show, when your story, your face, and your spirit are what should shine. For many women, a too short dress can also throw off the elegant proportions you've grown into, shortening your silhouette, and, ironically, making you look less powerful and poised. You might find yourself tugging at the fabric, adjusting and fidgeting, or feeling a little self-conscious when you'd rather be focusing on enjoying the moment. All of that takes away from the grace and confidence that are your birthright. Let's be clear, this isn't about hiding your legs. On the contrary, your legs have carried you through decades of love, loss, laughter, and change. They deserve to be honored, not hidden. But there is an undeniable magic in longer hemlines, dresses that fall just below the knee or even mid-calf. These silhouettes don't stifle your energy. Instead, they elongate your frame and add a gentle polish to your look. There's something quietly powerful about a dress that moves with you as you walk across the room, a swish of fabric that tells the world you know exactly who you are and you're not afraid to show it. If you still crave a bit of flirtation or drama, a side slit or a gently flowing skirt can offer mature sensuality at its finest. Never forced, never desperate, just a nod to the woman you've always been. Longer dresses also give you room to play with beautiful details. A sweeping hemline, a structured waist, a stunning neckline. You gain options, not limitations. So the next time you reach for an old favorite, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, Does this dress reflect the woman I am today, or is it trying to squeeze me into who I once was? There's no shame in letting go. Clearing space in your closet for pieces that match your present can feel like a gift to yourself. With every dress you outgrow, you're making space for a wardrobe that lifts you rather than holding you back. Many women worry that choosing longer dresses means giving up on style, or that they'll look old-fashioned or frumpy. But here's the secret. True elegance is timeless, and so is self-respect. Think of icons like Helen Mirren or Jane Fonda. Women who embrace longer hemlines not to hide, but to command a room without ever raising their voices. They radiate authority, playfulness, and a deep sense of comfort in their skin. And you can, too. In today's world, fashion magazines and social media can make it feel like only the young and bold deserve to be seen. But that couldn't be further from the truth. Women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond are writing new rules, dressing for themselves rather than the gaze of others. A dress that honors your stage in life doesn't erase your vitality, it amplifies it. You become more visible, not less, because you are presenting yourself with intention and pride. Letting go of dresses that are too short is not an act of surrender, but one of freedom. It's choosing comfort without sacrificing style, choosing dignity without forgoing a hint of drama. Most importantly, it's choosing to celebrate your body as it is, not as it was. This is the time in your life to show the world what confidence looks like. Not despite your age, but because of it. So stand in front of your closet, hold up that dress, and ask, does this help me walk into a room with my head high and my spirit shining? If the answer is no, it's time to pass it on. Because the best fashion statement you can make isn't about showing off your knees or chasing trends. It's about honoring yourself every single day. And there's nothing more beautiful than a woman who knows she deserves to be seen, exactly as she is, exactly where she is in her journey. Mistake 2. Holding on to outdated dress styles that no longer reflect who you are. There's a quiet comfort in slipping on a dress that has been with you for years, a gentle nostalgia, a memory stitched into every seam. Maybe you have a few of these dresses hanging in your closet right now. A floral shift you wore to your daughter's wedding shower. The high-neck number that saw you through countless family gatherings and Sunday services. Or perhaps a simple, boxy dress that always felt like a safe choice, even if it never truly brought you joy. These dresses are more than just fabric. They're a part of your story, silent witnesses to your journey. But as time passes, something subtle begins to happen. You notice that when you put on that old favorite, it doesn't spark the same light inside. Maybe it hangs differently, or the color that once flattered your skin now seems to drain it. Perhaps, most telling of all, you simply don't feel like yourself. This isn't a sign of failure or loss. It's a gentle nudge from life itself, inviting you to move forward, to dress for the woman you are now, not the one you used to be. Holding on to outdated dress styles is one of the most common, yet rarely acknowledged, mistakes women make as they age. Not because we lack taste or style, but because those garments are comfortable, familiar, and sometimes sentimental. But fashion, just like life, is meant to be a reflection of your present, not a shadow of your past. The truth is, every season brings with it a new version of you, one that deserves to be seen and celebrated. Think for a moment about the shapes and styles that quietly found their way into your closet 20, 30, or even 40 years ago. The boxy, shapeless shift. The heavy, stiff floral. The high necklines and sleeves that covered more than they revealed. They were right for their moment, maybe even for your body back then. But as you've grown, your energy has shifted, your perspective has deepened, and your life is full of new stories, new joys, and new wisdom. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Outdated styles don't just make you look older, they can make you feel invisible. A dress with no shape can swallow your figure, masking your natural elegance and hiding the very things that make you unique. Even the most expensive designer dress will fall flat if it doesn't align with your spirit today. Sometimes, you slip it on and realize you're not walking into the world with pride, but instead, you're tiptoeing in someone else's shoes, someone you left behind years ago. The problem isn't the age of the dress itself, but the disconnect between what it says and who you are. There's a quiet confidence that comes from clothes that move with you, that catch the light, that mirror the rhythm of your life right now. Imagine trading in those stiff, outdated numbers for a soft A-line that flatters your figure, a classic wrap that hugs your waist, or a dress with subtle diagonal seams that draw the eye in all the right directions. These are styles that say, I am here, fully present, and loving this stage of my life. Refreshing your wardrobe doesn't mean throwing everything out and starting from scratch. Sometimes it's about letting go of just a few pieces, the ones that tug you back into the past instead of propelling you forward. It can feel bittersweet, like saying goodbye to an old friend. But with every piece you pass on, you make room for something new. A dress that makes you feel alive, that brings a smile to your face when you catch your reflection, that gives you that extra spark as you head out the door. Take a moment, sometime soon, to stand quietly in front of your closet. Hold each dress up and ask yourself a simple question. Would I buy this today, knowing who I am now? If the answer is no, trust yourself enough to let it go. Because you're not dressing for nostalgia, you're dressing for your today and your tomorrows. Remember, you are not the same woman you were 20 years ago. You have lived, grown, and gathered wisdom in every wrinkle, every laugh line, every silvery strand of hair. Your clothes should rise to meet you where you are, not pull you back to where you've already been. There's a special kind of magic in wearing clothes that reflect your present self. You walk taller. You feel lighter. You step into each day with a quiet assurance, knowing that your style is an outward celebration of your inner journey. You are not invisible. You are not fading. This is your time to shine, brighter, bolder, and more beautifully than ever before. So as you stand in front of your closet, permit yourself to release what no longer fits, not just your body, but your spirit. Dress for who you are right now, a woman in her prime, with stories to tell, wisdom to share, and a whole world still waiting for her unique sparkle. And with every fresh style you embrace, you'll find yourself falling in love with your reflection all over again. Gently, gracefully, and joyfully. Mistake 3. Ignoring your waist, wearing loose, shapeless dresses. There's a quiet temptation that creeps into many women's closets with age, a temptation that whispers of safety, of ease, of blending in. It's the allure of the loose, shapeless dress. At first glance, these dresses seem to promise comfort above all. No buttons pulling, no fabric clinging too tight, no reminders of a body that has softened with the years. For so many of us, reaching for something roomy and forgiving feels like an act of self-kindness. Let's not call attention to my middle, you might tell yourself as you slip into that generously cut shift or tunic. I'm just here to feel comfortable. But comfort, while important, is not the same as confidence. And sometimes, what we think of as safe is hiding the very best of us. When we wear dresses that skip right over the waist, we lose something much more precious than a defined shape. We lose the beautiful lines that tell our story. We lose the subtle structure that signals poise and intention. And most of all, we lose the chance to celebrate the body that has carried us through a lifetime of joys and challenges. It's easy to understand how this habit takes hold. Perhaps you've noticed your curves shifting, your silhouette softening, your waist not as defined as it once was. Society has a way of making women feel invisible as we age, and fashion doesn't always help. Too many brands market boxy, tent-like dresses to women of a certain age, as if we should be grateful for the camouflage. But you are not invisible. You are not a shape to be hidden. You are a living, breathing woman, one whose body deserves to be seen with joy and pride, not apology. The truth is, you don't need to have the waistline of a 20-year-old to honor your shape. Your waist, however subtle or bold, deserves recognition. Even the gentlest suggestion of a curve can transform your whole look, restoring a sense of harmony to your silhouette and lifting your energy. It's not about looking thin. It's about looking balanced, vibrant, and truly yourself. Imagine, for a moment, the difference a little definition can make. Picture slipping a thin belt over a softly gathered dress, or tying a sash just at your natural waist. Think about how a wrapped dress hugs and flatters, or how a seam drawn in at the middle gently suggests your shape without ever squeezing or pinching. Even a dress that tapers just slightly at the waist, rather than billowing out, can make you feel lighter, more put together, and even more youthful. There's a secret that stylists have known for ages. When you define your waist, even subtly, it not only creates visual balance but also lifts your posture, accentuates your bust, and draws the eye upward to your smile and your sparkling eyes. Suddenly, you stand taller, not because you're hiding, but because you're standing proud. Your clothes become a celebration, not a disguise. And let's be honest, life after 60 is too precious to spend hiding behind fabric. By now, you've earned the right to take up space, to be seen, to express who you are without apology. Every line, every curve, every unique feature of your body is a testament to your story. The years you carried babies on your hip, worked long days, laughed with friends, and danced at weddings, they're all there, etched in your silhouette. Why not celebrate them? Of course, this isn't a call to abandon comfort. Far from it. A dress can be both forgiving and flattering. The key is intention. Instead of reaching for the biggest, boxiest thing in your closet, look for pieces that gently acknowledge your shape. Try a softly elasticized waist, a drawstring, or a wrap detail. Sometimes all it takes is a fabric that nips in just a touch, or a pattern that creates the illusion of a curve. And if you're not ready to give up your beloved loose dresses, experiment with layering. A tailored cardigan, a structured blazer, or even a statement necklace can bring attention back to your face and middle, balancing the overall look. Next time you find yourself slipping into something loose and shapeless, pause for a moment in front of the mirror. Ask yourself, am I choosing this because it celebrates me, or because I'm trying to disappear? If it's the latter, consider what you might add or change to bring a bit of your beautiful shape back into the picture. Remember, you are not invisible. You are not meant to fade into the background. You deserve to be seen, to stand tall, and to honor your body as it is today. Defining your waist, even in the gentlest, subtlest way, isn't about vanity. It's about self-respect, self-celebration, and self-love. So next time you shop or clean out your closet, be kind to yourself. Reach for pieces that bring out your natural beauty, that help you feel alive and proud. And always, always remember, you are worthy of clothes that fit not just your body, but your spirit. The world deserves to see you confident, joyful, and entirely yourself. Mistake 4. Choosing unflattering prints that overwhelm or age you. There's something undeniably cheerful about a dress covered in bright prints. Maybe it's a cascade of florals that reminds you of your mother's garden, or a playful swirl of color that once made you feel younger, lighter, ready for anything. Perhaps you have a closet with a rainbow of patterns. Big flowers, swirling paisleys, busy geometrics, each one a memory, a chapter in the story of your life. For many women, prints feel like a celebration, a little rebellion against the idea that aging means you have to fade into beige. But one of the easiest mistakes to make, especially as the years go by, is reaching for prints that do more harm than good. As time passes, we change, our hair silvering, our skin taking on new undertones, our confidence and wisdom settling in like an old friend. But the bold, busy prints that once felt fun can suddenly become overwhelming, drawing attention away from your beautiful face and masking the poise you've spent a lifetime cultivating. What started as joyful can sometimes end up stealing the show, leaving you lost in a sea of color and pattern. It's not that you should stop wearing prints. Far from it. Prints can be magical, expressive, and youthful in the best way. The secret is in choosing them with intention, so they lift you rather than weigh you down. Think of the difference between background music that gently supports a conversation and a song that drowns out every word you try to say. The right print should be that subtle melody, enhancing your presence and letting you shine. The truth is, many prints found in stores today are designed without you in mind. Loud, oversized florals in dull or faded colors, for instance, can instantly add years instead of taking them off. They tend to swamp your frame, making you look shorter or wider, and sometimes even draining your complexion. Busy, high-contrast patterns, think wild paisleys, splattered abstracts, or those infamous 1980s wallpaper prints, can distract the eye, pulling attention away from the features you want to highlight. Suddenly, you become a canvas for the dress, instead of the other way around. Maybe you've noticed it when you tried on a dress with an explosion of color, only to find that it somehow overpowered your energy. Or you've found yourself looking washed out, the print shouting while your personality fades quietly into the background. It's a subtle thing, but the wrong print can make you feel invisible, or worse, like you're wearing a costume instead of your skin. But here's the good news: a well-chosen print can be transformative. It can add warmth to your skin, sparkle to your eyes, and a bounce to your step. Smaller scale patterns, gentle florals, simple dots, or soft abstracts tend to flatter more mature women, offering visual interest without overwhelming. Think about vertical stripes or subtle gradients that move the eye up and down, creating length and elegance. Soft, harmonious color combinations work wonders, especially those that echo your natural coloring. When in doubt, try limiting your dress to just 2 main colors. This creates sophistication and polish without effort. Another often overlooked secret is the importance of space within the print. If the pattern is too dense, the eye doesn't know where to rest, it becomes a visual jumble. But when a print gives you a little breathing room, when the flowers or shapes are spaced just so, the overall effect is calmer, cleaner, and far more flattering. The eye is drawn gently up to your face, and your presence, rather than the pattern, becomes the star of the show. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's also worth remembering that prints and accessories have a special relationship. If you're wearing a patterned dress, keep your jewelry simple. Let the print do the talking, but not the shouting. The goal is always to create a look that whispers confidence, never screams for attention. So, as you stand in front of your closet or scan the racks at your favorite boutique, pause and hold up each printed dress. Ask yourself, does this print support my elegance, or does it compete with it? Does it bring out the best in me, or does it wear me? If you're not sure, try it on and look closely at your reflection. Notice where your eyes go first, how your skin looks, how you feel. Trust your instincts. They are wiser than any trend. Remember, your style is a reflection of your story, your energy, and your spirit. You deserve prints that make you feel seen, not hidden. Prints that bring out your unique glow instead of burying it. Don't be afraid to donate or pass on those old, overwhelming patterns, even if you once loved them. You've grown, and so should your wardrobe. With every thoughtful choice, you're not just getting dressed. You're showing the world that confidence is timeless, and that true beauty lies in harmony, not noise. The right print will never overshadow the remarkable woman you've become. It will simply frame her, gently, gracefully, and with all the warmth and joy she deserves. Mistake 5. Overloading dresses with too many unnecessary details. There's a moment in every woman's life when she stands in front of the mirror, ready for a special occasion, and reaches for that dress. The one with layers of ruffles, a scattering of sequins, lace across the sleeves, embroidery at the hem, and perhaps even a bow or 2 thrown in for good measure. Maybe you bought it for a milestone birthday, or it caught your eye on a shopping trip with a friend. It sparkled, it promised to make you feel special, and maybe, for a time, it did. But over the years, as we collect more dresses with just a little extra, our closets start to look less like a gallery of classics and more like a costume trunk. Details accumulate: ruffles and ruching, pleats and puffs, beads, feathers, tassels, cutouts, and layers of lace. Each one was chosen for its charm, its ability to turn an ordinary dress into something fancy. But somewhere along the way, all that ornamentation begins to steal the spotlight from the woman herself. It's easy to see why we reach for dresses overloaded with details. For many of us, there's a voice, sometimes our own, sometimes from the world around us, insisting that as we get older, we need to try harder. Maybe a bright sequin or a flouncy sleeve will make us look more festive, more youthful, more worthy of attention. But the truth is, when a dress is doing all the talking, nobody's listening to you. Instead of adding grace, too many details weigh us down, visually and emotionally. They break up the clean lines of our bodies, creating distractions at every turn. A ruffle at the neckline, a tiered skirt, and oversized buttons all together can make the eye bounce from one spot to another, never settling long enough to appreciate your natural beauty. Even the slimmest woman can look overwhelmed in a dress that's trying too hard to be everything at once. Think back to a time when you felt truly elegant. Maybe it was in a simple navy sheath or a classic wrap dress that followed the shape of your body without shouting for attention. There's a reason those memories stand out. True elegance doesn't come from excess, it comes from balance. It's the quiet confidence that comes when you wear something that fits well, moves with you, and lets your spirit, not your embellishments, take center stage. As we grow older, we have a gift, the wisdom to know that more is not always better. A dress overloaded with details can add visual weight, making you appear heavier or shorter than you are. It can even make you feel uncomfortable or self-conscious, always tugging, smoothing, or adjusting something that just won't sit right. But here's the good news. You don't have to sacrifice personality or joy to achieve sophistication. The most luxurious, memorable dresses are often the simplest. Clean lines, thoughtful construction, and just one or two well-chosen details. A pleat at the waist, a soft drape over the shoulder, a beautiful fabric that shimmers in the light. These elements allow your presence to shine through. Try this. Next time you're drawn to a dress dripping with beads, bows, and everything in between, pause and ask yourself what you want to communicate. Is it your sense of fun? Your warmth? Your quiet confidence? Chances are, you'll find that a dress with just one special feature, a subtle shimmer at the neckline, a sculpted sleeve, or a beautiful button, will say far more about you than any over-the-top ensemble ever could. And when you find a dress you love, let it breathe. If you're wearing a textured or detailed piece, keep your jewelry and accessories simple. Allow one element to shine and the rest to support it. Think of it as setting the stage for your performance. Too much scenery, and the audience loses sight of the star. When you look at icons of timeless style, think of Audrey Hepburn's little black dress, or Maya Angelou's flowing robes. What stands out isn't the details, but the woman herself. Her poise, her smile, the way she carried herself. That's the effect a well-chosen, thoughtfully detailed dress can have on you. It frames your personality instead of hiding it. So, the next time you're shopping or organizing your wardrobe, challenge yourself to let go of dresses that feel more like decorations than clothes. Try on something simpler, something softer, something that allows you to move and breathe and just be. Notice how the world reacts. The compliments shift from, "What a pretty dress," to, "You look radiant today." That's the power of less. At this stage of life, you don't need your clothes to speak for you. You've already lived 1,000 stories worth telling. Choose dresses that set the scene, then let your confidence, wisdom, and kindness take the spotlight. In the end, the greatest beauty is never in the ruffles or the rhinestones. It's in the woman who wears them, shining quietly and unmistakably, just as she is. Mistake 6. Wearing the wrong size, too tight or too loose. There's a certain kind of memory woven into every dress we own. For some of us, there's a dress in the closet we haven't worn in years, but we hold on to it all the same. Maybe it reminds us of a wedding, a retirement party, or a summer night when we felt beautiful and alive. Sometimes, though, as we get older, our relationship with size, those little numbers on the tag, becomes complicated. We find ourselves clinging to a favorite size from years gone by, as if keeping it close will keep us connected to the past. Or we drift to the other end of the spectrum, choosing looser and looser dresses in hopes of hiding the changes we see in the mirror. But here's the truth. Wearing the wrong size, whether it's too tight or too loose, quietly chips away at your comfort and your confidence. When a dress is too tight, it tugs and pulls in all the wrong places. You feel it every time you sit down, every time you lift your arms, every time you take a breath. You become aware of every seam, every inch, and instead of focusing on the joy of being present, you're distracted by the discomfort of your clothes. Maybe you spend the day adjusting the neckline, smoothing the skirt, or tugging at your sleeves, wishing for just a bit more room. On the other hand, dresses that are too loose offer a different kind of problem. At first, they feel forgiving, like a safe shelter on a stormy day. But when fabric overwhelms your figure, you start to disappear. The shape of your body, the gentle curve of your waist, the soft lines of your shoulders, the dignity in your posture, gets lost in all that extra material. What began as a search for comfort often ends with a look that feels frumpy or disconnected, as if you're wearing someone else's clothes. This push and pull with sizing is something so many women quietly struggle with. Sometimes it's about nostalgia, sometimes it's about self-protection, and sometimes it's just plain confusion. After all, sizes aren't even consistent from one store to the next. But the number on the tag isn't a badge of honor or a scarlet letter. It doesn't define your worth, your beauty, or your place in the world. The only thing that truly matters is how you feel when you wear the dress. There's a special kind of confidence that comes from wearing something that fits just right. Not too snug, not too baggy, but gently tailored to you, as you are right now. The perfect fit is like a loving hug. It allows you to move with freedom, to laugh, to breathe deeply, to walk into any room with your head held high. A dress that fits well lifts your mood, straightens your posture, and even brings out your best smile. You aren't distracted by discomfort, and you don't feel the need to hide. If you've ever worried that going up a size is a kind of defeat, let that thought drift away. Bodies change. Through decades of living, loving, raising families, facing illness, and savoring countless joys and sorrows. Each change is a chapter in your story, not something to be ashamed of. Choosing a larger size doesn't mean you failed. It means you've learned to listen to your body, to treat it with kindness and respect. And sometimes, going down a size, or having a seamstress take in a dress that's grown too roomy, can feel just as empowering. Tailoring isn't a luxury, it's an act of self-care. Think of the women you admire, those who seem to radiate grace wherever they go. Rarely is it about the trendiest dress or the slimmest silhouette. It's about how their clothes fit, how their clothes honor their bodies as they are, not as they once were or as someone says they should be. A well-fitting dress doesn't erase the years. It celebrates them. It moves with you, not against you, so that you are free to be present in every precious moment. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. So the next time you're in front of your closet or the dressing room mirror, be gentle with yourself. Don't worry about the size on the tag. Focus on how the dress feels on your shoulders, how it falls along your shape, how it lets you move and breathe. Ask yourself, do I feel free? Do I feel lifted? Do I feel comfortable enough to forget what I'm wearing and just enjoy the day? If the answer is yes, then you've found your true size and your true style. If not, don't hesitate to try a different size or take a trip to a trusted tailor. The world deserves to see you, comfortable and radiant, exactly as you are right now. In the end, the best dresses aren't the ones that fit your past or your dreams for tomorrow. They're the ones that fit the remarkable woman you are today. And that is always worth celebrating. Mistake 7. Choosing necklines that hide your face instead of framing it beautifully. There's a moment every woman recognizes. The final step in getting dressed, the last look in the mirror before you walk out the door. Sometimes, the dress feels almost right, but something's off. You try on a necklace, swap your earrings, adjust your scarf, but the unease lingers. You can't quite put your finger on it until, at last, you realize it's the neckline. It's either creeping too high and swallowing your chin, or it's plunging so low that you feel exposed rather than elegant. What should frame your face, your most expressive feature, ends up hiding it, dimming your natural glow rather than letting it shine. The neckline is so much more than a detail. It's the first thing the world sees when they look at you. Your smile, your eyes, the lines of laughter and wisdom on your face, all are highlighted or lost, depending on how your dress meets your neck and shoulders. Yet, for many women, necklines are an afterthought. Sometimes, high necklines feel like a shield, safe and conservative, a way to cover skin that may have changed over the years. Other times, we choose daring, low cuts, hoping for a touch of youthful drama. But both extremes can pull the attention away from your best features. A high, tight neckline, think mock turtlenecks, crew necks, or stiff collars, can make the neck appear shorter and the face look closed off. It draws the eye down, crowds the jawline, and can even make the posture slump as if you're retreating inward. Worse, it can amplify the very things you might wish to minimize: a double chin, rounded shoulders, or a heavier bust. For women whose confidence is hard-won, the last thing you need is to feel constricted or hidden. On the flip side, necklines that plunge too low bring their own set of problems. They may promise allure, but all too often, they create a feeling of self-consciousness. Instead of drawing the eye upward to your face, they pull attention away, sometimes even creating discomfort in social settings. It's not just about modesty. It's about dignity, balance, and the feeling that you're presenting the best version of yourself, not trying to compete with younger styles that never quite suit this wise and confident season of life. So, what's the secret to a neckline that lifts and flatters, rather than buries or distracts? It's about framing, not hiding. Think of a portrait in a gallery. The right frame draws the eye to the painting, enhancing every color and brushstroke. The wrong frame overpowers, or worse, closes in and diminishes the art. Your face is your masterpiece, years in the making, rich with experience and character. It deserves to be seen. For many women, a gentle V-neck works wonders. Not too deep, just enough to elongate the neck, soften the jawline, and open up the face. It's universally flattering, especially for those with a rounder face, fuller bust, or anyone who wants to add a sense of length and lightness to their look. A boat neckline, broad and horizontal, can also be lovely, gently widening the shoulders and creating an elegant line that brings focus upward. And then there's the wrap neckline, softly layered, feminine, always classic, offering coverage and grace without ever looking fussy. When you choose your neckline with care, something magical happens. Your face lights up, your posture straightens, your confidence shows before you've even said a word. The skin at the base of your neck, perhaps with a touch of moisturizer and a favorite pendant, becomes a subtle invitation to look closer, not at the dress, but at the woman wearing it. It's also important not to underestimate the small rituals that frame your neckline. A touch of bronzer on the collarbone, a delicate chain, even the choice to let your hair fall softly at your shoulders or sweep it back. These are the finishing touches that make the difference. They don't require youth or perfection, only a willingness to celebrate the moment you're in. The next time you're choosing a dress, pause and take a good look at your reflection. Ask yourself, does this neckline lift my face, or does it bury it? Does it make me feel open, confident, ready to greet the world? Or does it hide the very features that make me, me? If it's the latter, consider trying something new, even if it's just a gentle change. You might be surprised how transformative it feels to finally see yourself, truly see yourself, beautifully framed and fully present. Because after all these years, you deserve to be seen. Your eyes sparkling, your smile inviting, your spirit unmistakable. The right neckline is not about following fashion rules. It's about honoring your presence every single day. You are not meant to fade into fabric. to disappear into high collars, or get lost in deep plunges. You are meant to shine, softly, proudly, and with a quiet beauty that only comes from a life well lived. Let your neckline frame your face the way a beautiful sunrise frames a new day, full of light, hope, and infinite possibility. And as you step out, trust that you are enough, just as you are, beautifully visible to the world. As you stand in front of your closet tomorrow morning, I hope you see it with fresh eyes. Maybe you'll notice an old favorite that no longer tells your story quite right, or you'll feel inspired to reach for something you haven't worn in years, a dress that flatters your spirit as much as your silhouette. Remember, every hemline, every print, every gentle curve and neckline is not just a matter of fashion but a celebration of who you are today. Your style is not about erasing the years but honoring them, choosing with intention, dressing with confidence, and embracing the beauty that has only deepened with time. If there's one lesson these years have taught us, it's that life is too precious to waste on clothes that make us feel anything less than radiant. So let your wardrobe reflect your wisdom, your laughter, and your courage to step out as your truest self. Let go of the pieces that hold you back, and surround yourself with the fabrics, colors, and shapes that make you feel alive. The world deserves to see you, really see you, in all your grace and authenticity. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you learned from this story that you'll carry into your own life? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. And if this video made you reflect, smile, or see yourself in a new light, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Together, let's celebrate a style and a life that is elegant, confident, and completely your own.